Hey, this is Bryan Donihue, your one-legged GM, and you're watching a very special talkback episode of the Misadventures of the Restore Corps Season 1. Before we get started, make sure you smash that like button, comment down below, and if you have not done so yet, please subscribe to the show. I really appreciate it. Without any further ado, on with the show. So this has been an interesting season. This is our question and answer talkback episode, whatever this is. As players, it's been an amazing season, and unfortunately, Michael could not be with us tonight due to, I don't know, actually having a job and making money or something. I don't know. It's occasionally important. So,
bills do pile
tonight,
up after a while.
That's very true. Tonight is going to be very, very freeform. Got a couple questions, and then we're going to go from there. As an aside, I just want to give you guys all thanks and big props for doing an amazing show. And we'll talk about I'm sure we'll talk about how the show has grown from episode 1 to now. Episode 1 that we filmed, the episode 1 that we released was literally the third episode that we actually played as a group this game. And most of you hadn't played the game other than in a demo before. So brand new group, brand new game, brand new rules, and we still somehow made it. So it's been a crazy long journey. I just want to thank you guys for that. To get started, one of the questions we had from Sigrun on our Discord server. Check the show notes for the link to the Discord server where you can actually join. From Sigrun on the Discord server, for any or all of the players, so for all of you, what is your favorite part of the season, of this campaign that we've run so far? So,
I mean, I'll go first if everyone's okay with that. I think my favorite part of this season, and this kind of echoes what Bryan was just saying, was the fact that we've all grown so much as players. Because I got to see Spenser and Theran, both of you guys, go from not playing this game at all, pretty much ever, other than in a demo, to you guys are part of the stream. You guys are genuinely, Neuro and Vlad are some of my favorite characters because of the weird quirks and quips that we get to throw back and forth. Some of the crazy stuff that happens in the actual stream itself, whether it be getting blasted off a door or blaming the human for everything. It's honestly been some of my favorite things to watch throughout the entire season as a player, and kind of enjoying it from a slightly sadistic point of view, but also as a viewer seeing it all from the outside. I've really enjoyed every minute of watching you guys grow and kind of come into this this crazy world that we've kind of been working on for a long time. So
I would say my favorite portion is just the fact that, I mean, I've played the game with 3 other people here. Bryan would pull me in on a different demo group on a different night, and Simon and Jessie are also there. We were test driving a different format, and so it's like that was. So I mean, that was also all work, and then with this, okay, were able to dive into a campaign and a story. And once we figured out which direction the story was going to take off in, we went with it. And just the way we were able to interact and do this through the technology has been phenomenal and a whole lot of fun.
So speaking of the way the story has kind of folded, and we'll come back to this question because I really do want to hear all of your answers, but just kind of a behind the scenes side of things. When I run a game, I start with an idea and kind of a big sandbox and kind of let it happen for the first session or two. And then I figure out what's going to happen. I didn't have a clue when we started where this thing was actually going. So seeing it develop into what has been a really interesting campaign has been far more fun. Has been a lot of fun for me too. And a lot more work than I'm normally used to, because I normally throw everything seat of the pants and 8 pages of notes, not including maps. I have like, at current count, 15 or 20 pages of maps and notes. So
now, normally, how much do you usually have? Like a paragraph or something?
Goose egg.
I can maybe have, well, if I start, when I start a campaign, usually nothing. I have an idea. I may have a sentence or two jotted down of, hey, this is an interesting factoid or something that needs to be brought up. By the end of the campaign, I'll have a page and a half of notes at the end, not at the beginning. So, that's kind of where I start. So it's been crazy with this one. All right. Anyone else? So, for what's been your favorite part of the season?
I think it's when we all started really getting comfortable with our characters, which happened right around the Vlad and WD-42 show.
Episode 5.
Because at that point, it seemed like everybody just went, wait, I could be crazy with my character. And from that point on, we just ran with it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. There's a definite shift in that episode from, all right, we're working through this gaming thing, we're figuring out everybody, to, oh crap, let's just play. And that's kind of where it went.
Guys,
I love it. And
we're federal agents.
Yeah, that has to be one of my favorite lines.
Oh, we can sneak here, we can do this. No, guys, we're federal agents.
We can go in the front door.
Yeah,
I can get a fake idea. I can get a fake ID. I have a badge. We have badges.
Oh, I've got a guy.
Yeah, same guy as I am.
And for
Jessie,
those who,
Spenser. Oh, go ahead, Danielle.
And for those who weren't aware, that literally was like a minute of planning.
Oh yeah,
for the sasquatch, the good vamp. No, good
squatch, bad vamp. Although I really still stick to this idea that it should be the other way around.
And for those playing at home as well, not only was it just a minute or so of planning, Danielle and Spenser didn't inform any of us.
We had no idea. We had no idea that they had planned this.
You literally have no idea how much. Yeah.
Literally day of, we were sitting down for recording. Danielle and I hop into one-on-one chat.
After I asked, who am I paired up with?
and we spend like maybe 1 or 2 minutes being like, okay, how do we want to go about this? And we're just like, good cop, bad cop kind of deal. Let's see how it goes.
It worked well.
No idea it was coming.
It worked really well. It played off really great.
It really tested me as a GM, and I loved it for it because it was just fun. And that is literally the episode. I think you're right, Danielle, that is the episode where we all just kind of relaxed.
Yeah.
And had fun with the game.
Yeah.
So,
Gruff pulled out the voice.
oh jeez,
The voice.
yep.
We started talking about the room.
Yes.
Oh gosh, we've got so many good points in this season.
Jessie, Theran, thoughts on your favorite part of the season?
Well, and I'm going to put the disclaimer out here right now that I have a migraine and the gears are not turning as well as they normally do. But I just really, really enjoy how everybody's playing their characters. It's been nice. I don't feel like anybody is playing the same style or the same person or the same, it's really nice that everybody's they've made their decisions about their characters. Everybody's very different. They're sticking to it really well. Not doing it's really hard sometimes in role play to not do the right thing or the best thing, because you want to I want to be useful and I want our party to be successful. But that's not how you always play your character in a convincing manner. So it's fun that we have failed and we have been foolish and we wasted time and we followed unnecessary tangents. But I think that overall it can be very enjoyable, and I hope people agree with me on that.
Oh yeah.
I absolutely agree, and it's been great because everybody has stayed, not just become their own character, but been their character. Everybody's fully involved, and it's been a blast to see your character as you go and as you've grown. Theran, thoughts?
Yeah. Paul.
I wanted to piggyback on Jessie's thing real quick.
Yeah,
but we can change that. All I got to do is come up with a different disc for my character for glitch.
That's true. That's true.
And we can kind of deviate into that with programming, but I'm happy not to.
Yeah, we could recruit. Hang on just a second. And just like that, we have yet another technical issue, as we have expressed in the last several episodes. So
we all live very complicated and rather hectic lives. So sometimes you'll see interruptions like that because we're just normal people. We don't have the celebrity or perfect recording environments. And so we oftentimes run into stuff like that. So,
I
mean, just kind of take a look at my background here. It's you got drawers of a cabinet that I've been meaning to move for a few weeks now sitting there. Got pieces of a wallpaper hanging there.
Take a look at my background. I'm just surprised the wind noise stays down for you guys.
Although I do kind of envy Paul's background, just kind of sitting in the lake shore.
Nice view of the lake there.
Yeah. I was there last week. It was great.
So getting back to the question, Theran, what's your favorite part about the season?
I think my favorite part is being able to, like Jessie said, play as our characters. So, for me, being the human and the new guy for the team, like the whole new recruit, the newest person to the team, and being like, yes, let's get a mission going. Let's get a mission going. Yay!
the one character on the team that actually wants to do missions, wants to be an action team.
I'd love
and has the least experience.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
17-year-old, just reminding you that.
The rest of us are aware what work means.
And then meanwhile, everybody else is like, no, don't want to go on an actual mission. No.
Just let us do what we do best. We're going to mess it up if we go on an actual mission.
I'm still not convinced we won't end the world.
Oh, we probably will.
We'll see. Although, really, I can't let you end the world because I have to still make money off of it. So,
plot armor.
Is very much plot armor. Yes, because
OTA has plot armor. I don't know that we do.
Yeah, the OTA has plot armor.
Well, I mean,
Well,
not having plot
yeah.
armor is very evident in the season finale episode. So
between episode 18 and episode 19, yes, none of you have plot armor.
I think the best thing about Neuro being excited about doing all this is seeing how much Sapling hates doing all this because of all the paperwork.
Yes.
Not just
Sapling
the
and the
paperwork, let's be honest.
So, corollary to that is there something about the season that kind of was your least favorite that you didn't particularly enjoy? I'm kind of curious because is there something that really stood out that, man, I wish we had either you didn't get a chance to do or didn't, or kind of felt, okay, other than actually going on an action mission, felt forced to do because, I mean, that was plot. So
I'd say the most difficult thing for me was with the different discs. Did I want to have a different character vibe for each disc or not?
Yeah.
And I just went with, okay, whatever happens will happen.
So agreed. And I dig how you've kind of separated Glitch's personality from his skill sets, which are the discs, which are the floppy disks, which has been great. I will tell you, one of my least favorite parts of the season has been trying to keep a straight face when you guys are all messaging crap in the direct messenger.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
We talk mountains of crap at each other, and it gets hard to keep a straight face. Some of the time we fail. Some of the time you don't see us break, but it's especially when you get some of us. We have a very specific and snarky sense of humor, and we tend to throw it back and forth at each other. It gets real lively in the chat.
And it's not that we haven't done some of it on screen. It's just sometimes
absolutely
other people are playing, and we still want to say our joke.
Absolutely.
I remember times that we have said a joke, and Bryan has had to pause the video or stop the recording because he could not. He had to laugh.
Yep. Yes, and that's, like I said, that was. I mean, it's funny to reminisce about, but yes, there are times that legitimately I will make sure I pretty much ignore what's going on unless I get a direct message about something that I can respond to. But other than that, I just tend to ignore the chat during our games because I would be broken all the time.
Oh, yes. Yes, you would.
I think there was only one time that one of us broke the whole group, and luckily it was towards the end of the video anyway. So we just kept going and finished it off.
Yep. So anybody else?
Just one thing, since all of us are pretty new at recording, and it's very difficult to keep track of all the little ins and outs and notes and information we've been given when you don't have your pile of paper just to flip through because you're trying to pay attention to the screen and the rest of the recording. It's definitely a new experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think that's probably been the recording aspect has been one of the most challenging aspects of this season. None of us have done this. Well, I'd actually take that back. Spenser, you have a channel that you have a YouTube channel that you actually had before this started. I had nothing. In fact, I was desperately asking other peers about how to do stuff. And we've been slowly getting better, and I'm very pleased with where we're at now. We're getting better, and we've got some fun plans for the future. But man, getting the whole recording thing down and getting the intros right and making sure that sound and video were set, and then just setting up lighting in my freaking office. It's been an interesting challenge, and then keeping track of notes or whatever. Agreed, Danielle.
I think we almost forgot about the books for a while there because we just all kept forgetting to look down.
Yeah. So, and that's kind of why occasionally I do have to drop those hints. I've had to drop those hints in game. Is, by the way, remember you have this kind of thing going.
And yes, you say we could Google, but at the same time, I don't want to click off.
Oh, that's why I typically have my phone like right here. And I have my character sheet, and I have the docs that we have set up.
I will
as
say,
a shared file.
Yeah, I will say the shared doc that Jessie made is fantastic. Jessie and myself are the note takers in our original gaming group. We are the ones who we will scroll down every piece of information as seemingly relevant as it seems. And we'll try to keep a track of everything. The way I take notes, it's a little less everything. It's a little bit more like moment story beat kind of a thing. But it's been invaluable to have the doc open on a second screen or on the phone or, clicking over to another window or anything like that, just because it's so good to have, especially some of those very cryptic clues. Yeah. And I don't know, and this is a question that I feel like maybe I should save for later in this discussion, but like, hidden behind not what it seems spelled as in a seam of a wall, was that something that you had actually planned, Bryan, or was that something that was just meant to be, was it just overlooked by a computer typo?
I want to tell you it was planned. It was completely overlooked.
Fair enough.
But it was, as soon as it was mentioned, I was like, okay, that actually works, because I was planning on putting the seam in there anyway. Sure, why not? All right.
I mean, it was just such a funny thing to like read it, and then I think it was me that said it out loud the first time, and I was like, "Seems."
In my notes, I had corrected the spelling just without thinking, and then you're like, somebody brought up that was wrong,
and I was like, "Yeah, seems spelled wrong," and then we were like, "Wait, what? Spelled wrong? Spelled wrong? Hold on." It was fun. There was a lot of scrambling, I guess, a little bit on the note-taking part too, and making sure it was spelled correctly and things like that, because we get to certain points where we're like, how do you spell Cthulhu? Where's the apostrophe?
As Bob Ross would say, it was a happy little accident.
Yeah.
That happened. So
that's most of GMing.
Also,
Yes,
Bob Ross is one of
absolutely
Sapling's
yes.
heroes. Bob Ross is one of Sapling's human heroes. Happy little accident. Just a happy little treat.
I don't think she knows about Bob Ross, but if someone would like to,
oh my gosh, that is,
at some point.
oh my gosh, Gruff and Sapling are going to get stoned and watch Bob Ross in the second season.
The next
Holy
movie
crap.
I could see that happening.
We are going to.
You need something stronger than wheat to get Sapling high, though.
I was going to say, we've already talked about that.
That's on her.
We'll work on that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing. Enough of us are others that the normal things don't necessarily work.
You just grab Imp and yeah.
I'm sure
Imp has something.
I'm sure Imp has something in his vast collection of.
At one point, I don't remember if it was
stuff.
recorded. We were talking about like ambrosia and we were very we were leaning into the Greek mythos there for Imp at one point.
That's I think
talking
we pretty
about
much decided that's what actually gets him a real buzz, is like it takes like that level of alcoholic power,
potency, just potency. ABV.
Sure.
Gravity.
It's probably not actually alcohol at that point either. It's probably something else.
No, it's
it's godly.
It's alcohol mixed with divine something or other. Yes. So let's go to another question that was submitted by Nate, who is the original heavy in the series.
He's the only heavy. There's only
he's the only heavy. Yes.
There is only one heavy.
If the one-legged GM runs another campaign, would you guys join again? And if so, would you be comfortable running a character that you don't normally make?
Well, I mean, I'm definitely
actually, I'm going to kind of tag on that and say, are any of you playing a character that is even remotely like something that you normally play?
Oh, I want to go first for this one. So
ahead.
I would definitely be down to join into another campaign. But Vlad as a character is already a character I wouldn't normally run. The characters I typically would run are more along the lines of either a rogue or a paladin style. So I'm always looking for combat, always looking for treasures, always trying to initiate something. Whereas with Vlad, I try to stay back. I try to survey stuff. I try to keep an eye on everything, make sure stuff is how it should be. Look for traps, stuff kind of like that.
You play a warrior.
It's already playing something I'm not used to.
Yeah.
So you play like a frontline.
warrior. Yeah, you play a warrior, and we made you a construction worker.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that is all of us.
I mean, you do initiate stuff something. Sometimes, I mean, you initiated a fight with 42 at somebody's house.
I remember a door you initiated a fight with.
Okay. Both of those situations are exceptions because the door, we had a warrant for entry. I was following protocol there. As for the 42 situation, we kind of had a plan for that.
Sure.
I did say kinda. But
so
it's too bad the luck
I would
was
definitely probably try to run a different character also, something different from Vlad and what I typically run too.
Okay. All right. And for this campaign, to be fair, we are testing what we're calling the other handbook, which is when we push forward with version 2, we're going to be releasing a companion to that will allow you to play a non-human, a demigod, a thrope of some sort. And yes, one of the games I will be playing a gerbil thrope because it's a thing. A vampire, a cryptid, failing, or a half-fey. So that will be coming. But we set out very specifically with this group to make you non-combatants in others. So yeah, I mean, I already asked a lot of you to step out into something that you're not used to playing.
Because we all basically came up with the others base concept, and then who's playing this? Who's going to play this?
Yes, that was actually how it was. Yes, we kind of were working through the other handbook and kind of like, all right, here are what they are. Who wants to play one? And how can we make it goofy and fun?
Except we've got that one human.
Well, and that was the goofy and fun part of the others group, is the one human who is
have the token human
fresh out of school. So legitimately.
Did somebody say fresh?
Go ahead, Bloody Mary or Bloody Nancy or Bloody Jim, whichever one.
Bloody somebody.
It's a good thing we really like your wife and kids.
It's bloody somebody.
Let's face it. You guys keep him around for his wife and kid, for his kids especially.
Oh yeah, we must protect.
So
they keep us grounded.
What's your wife's name again?
The baker of the cookies.
Yeah, what's your wife's name again? I never remember your wife's name.
Honestly, I don't think we ever came up with
I think you did. I
Maybe that's why I don't remember it.
I know we had names for the twins, right?
No, legitimately.
We just always called them the
about
twins.
Yeah.
I think.
I looked through all my notes and we never came up once a name for
I'll
the
check
wife and
my
kids.
notes.
Oh, you didn't write
I
it down.
I think your wife has the name.
Season
I'll have to
2,
check my
deep
notes.
dive into Neuro's past. We need to find names. Are they even really his? Like genetics, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
let's get this going.
So when we walk in the
Is it-
door, hi Neuro, hi honey, hi kids.
Is it all part of a delusion? Where
No.
it's an experiment
Neuro has
by the
mind wiped us
agency.
all into believing this.
It's,
Oh no.
it's an experiment by the agency.
Mean.
Neuro is just that lonely that he actually invites us all over for Christmas, makes us believe that we're spending Christmas with his family and his kids, and then mind wipes us all after the fact because he's just that lonely.
I do remember that there is a backstory
So season 3.
that I am not going
neural
to say on
terms.
air right now.
Neuro's the BBEG.
Oh, too funny.
So back to the question.
Yeah, back to the question. And I mean, to be fair, you guys are kind of stuck playing the role that you're at until I kill you off. I mean, what?
No.
Or until we retire those characters and move.
I'll be
on
that
to
sacrificial
something
goat. Lamb.
I mean, I already took the initial step towards death, so
No.
different. That's legit. And
I mean, you didn't take that step. You were pushed towards that.
You were pushed.
No,
You were tripped.
technically,
you were tripped.
technically-
You were harmed.
no, technically he helped.
I mean, he did,
Because
you
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I mean, I did stab myself with a silver knife, so
for the record,
Silver blessed.
Not my fault.
yes. That's legit.
Yeah.
That one was
not your fault
that's
this
your fault.
time.
And
Yeah.
not my fault either.
Yes,
No,
it is your
actually, it kind of
fault.
was your fault.
Some of it was
That
my
was
fault.
all on you, Nero.
You got near the bullet.
I just had a bad luck roll, is what it was. I went to go help.
so
The irony of the only character with the highest luck hasn't really had to do a luck roll.
yeah, that's
My luck
kind of
is-
funny.
My luck is pretty high. It's not. I don't think it's quite as high as yours, but
Mine's
I
like
say luck is one of WD's highest stats.
think it's-
yeah,
my character sheet's over there. I think it's like 27.
it's. I mean, it's not fair because I'm a thrope and I get all the extra the
Or
extra
20
pluses
something.
and everything. But yeah,
Mhm.
Not in
well,
luck.
I was gonna say
I do
and-
have a little plus
and
to luck. Not a lot. but a
WD
little.
has the basically is surviving on their luck.
On luck. Yeah.
because-
Yeah.
Hey, look over there.
My
Exactly.
judgment. My judgment is tacked on.
Yeah.
The tree conveniently falls in the forest, so I don't get seen.
I've been there.
Very fair.
I've been on that trip.
Most
So-
of
What,
most
what
of my
I'm hearing
survival
is
has come from my intelligence and wisdom. So
Yeah.
what I'm hearing is something needs to happen in season 2 where 42 has to start rolling some luck.
We're going to
Yeah.
be outside.
because I'm
Oh,
pretty sure I
trust
have
me.
the lowest luck, and I've made the most luck rolls out
Of
of
course you
everything.
I
So
don't know. My luck's under 10.
What's your luck, Jessie?
I think it's a 9.
Mine's an
Oh,
8.
so
Oh
cute.
no, you do have the lowest.
I just increased my luck from a 7 to 8 at the end of that last episode.
I will tell you, in season 2, we will definitely be going into more of Sapling and WD's familiar, I mean, not in their territory per se, but in their more familiar surroundings for them.
If
for some-
we say natural habitat in quotes,
Yeah. Again,
Yeah,
to be
and
fair,
we'll be
WD's
getting out of
natural
my-
habitat's
my
behind a
area.
computer
our
screen, so,
species, yes.
yes. Yes.
Sapling's gonna take a deep breath when we get out in the woods. She's like, finally.
I do that in the woods too. Not Gruff, Simon. Just
So, Simon, you had a question for Like,
We never actually
the group-
finished the other question.
I mean, did we want to continue to
I
go
was gonna
around
say,
and
is there-
ask everyone else?
I think,
That's
I
true.
think
Is
the
there-
answer is yes for all of us wanting to play along.
Absolutely.
So we do.
Okay.
But for me, I always stretch myself with characters. Anytime at a convention, I'll always pick whichever characters people don't want. So I've played everything from the leader, the grunt, to the smart one, just whatever needs to be played. So for me, I'll take anything. I have fun with it.
I was gonna say my experience is I started with a demo, my first RPG that wasn't based at a computer was at a con. And then I got invited to help Bryan out in his house with the demo group. And then now I sit here. So I've only played a handful of characters. So what do I normally play? Whatever I'm handed.
Have you played any
Beyond
other
the door
That's fair.
open, it squishes your leg. What?
Have you played
Yeah.
any other systems and other types of characters?
I've delved a little bit into 5e recently, but that's all online. And I've done a couple things with Shadowrun and the 6D system of Star Wars. And that's all been within the last, well, since COVID started. So the last,
So it's all new for you.
yes.
For those of you who are watching this in the future, COVID was
Dang.
Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever
Yeah.
forget.
We won't.
Nope. All right. Anybody else want to answer Heavy's question?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in on heavies, and then if no one else wants to answer, I'm gonna transition into the other question that Bryan was having me start.
Okay. Go
Sound
ahead.
like plan, guys?
Yeah.
Confirmations, cool.
Lost track of some of the questions, so keep going.
No, you're all good. So to answer Heavy's question, and to answer it honestly, because if anyone is on the Discord, they'll see that I answered that question in a slightly snarky way. That's because Heavy is one of my best friends. And to answer that question a bit more honestly, Gruff is different from a lot of characters that I've played. He is more, I like to use the term laconic. He's way more laid back. He's simple compared to a lot of the other characters that I play. He's usually the kind of guy who'll wait and watch something happen and then step in to correct those actions. Whereas most of the other characters that I play are persons of action. They jump in, they take charge, they are usually the leaders. So it's nice for Gruff and myself to be a little more laid back. Gruff is he's calmer and he's slower, not in a mean-spirited way. He takes a little bit more time to do something than some of the other characters that I've played. And as people have kind of jokingly mentioned, I have a stack of about 20 characters that I've played with Bryan developing this game. So I have a lot of characters that I've played, including Ghost, who we've mentioned with Neuro's obsessions a couple of times as well. And again, Ghost he's meant to be frontline, take charge, brook no nonsense, whereas Gruff is happy to play pranks, sometimes super negatively, and have bad responses, like tripping a vampire. Or,
He's fine.
little things like that. He's
Hey,
mostly
I
fine.
survived that incident.
Yeah.
When you
That's
say
the point.
survived,
Ow.
Retcon.
so
Survived via destiny point, but that still survived.
Gruff is different from most of the characters that I play. He's not meant to be a mainline fighter, although in this group he very much is a melee fighter. Hand-to-hand combat, head-to-hand combat, whatever for him, head-to-hoof combat. But he is a character that I don't normally play, especially with the fact that he's a biologist, and I don't normally play a sciencey character for the most part. So leading in from that, I would absolutely play more games with Bryan. And for me, making a different character or a new character, I have a few characters up my sleeve that are waiting to be debuted. And when they do come out / when they get played, they will be different from... Gruff is a bit of a stepping stone for one of them, but they are all different. They all have different processes. They're not quite the same as the ones that I've played before. From a pompous actor type to a Brooke no nonsense family woman who was had her child abducted and her husband killed, to now a weregoat who likes to climb and spark up occasionally. These are all slightly different characters from what I normally would play.
Let's face it, it's far more than occasionally with Gruff.
Gruff, yeah. We've been on camera for approximately 5 days. I think he's smoked like 3 or 4 out of those 5 days. Now, to be fair, he has probably smoked in between those, and we just didn't see it. Because, yeah, he absolutely did.
Yep.
And then the question that I actually had for everybody, and this is the way that I had written this originally was a bit longer in the tooth, so we'll just kind of truncate it a little bit. I want to know for each of the players, what has been your favorite thing about your character, and then what has been your least favorite thing about your character. And then if Bryan, if you wouldn't mind answering the same question, but for each and every individual player, just give you a little bit more work. And I can start with that as well if everyone would like.
So what is your favorite thing about Gruff?
So my favorite thing about Gruff is that he's got that laconic wisdom. Again, that slower mental process. He'll sit back, he'll watch, he'll wait. And my favorite moment, I think thus far in the actual campaign, has been as we've made jokes about it multiple times before, and even in this stream specifically, wait, we're federal agents. The sudden realization of a hidden fact. It's literally in and of itself a punchline. And it is just that moment of, oh yeah, that's this character. Absolutely. He doesn't see it coming until when it hits, and then it's suddenly just, it's there, it's in front of your face. And of course it was. It's something to laugh at, but it's also something that's very like, oh, yeah, I forgot. And then my least favorite thing about playing this character, and for those of you who know me and spend more time with me, Gruff's laconic, again, the word slow comes to mind, pace is really difficult for me to play. I am always rapid fire making punchlines. I make random commercials on the spot. I sing random jingles and swap words out all the time. I'm constantly making the fast, funny, quick joke. Gruff can't do that. Gruff is not, he's not equipped for that kind of quipping. And so for me, it makes it difficult for me to think of a joke. And then as Gruff, I literally wait about 3 minutes and then make the joke. So for we have badges, what are we doing? If you go back and you watch that episode, watch my face. Approximately in a minute and a half before I said it, you'll see me go. Hey guys. That is the process with Gruff. It's the beauty of waiting and the beauty of taking the time to make a good punchline.
And you know what? I don't know that I'd call him slow.
He's not slow.
It's deliberate, I think is the word.
Yeah, there's
word for
yes, that. Yeah, deliberate is a very good way of putting it. When I said slow, I meant yes, I did mean the deliberate part of it. Yeah. His brain is when it gets there, then it's like, oh yes, of course, this is what I was thinking of. It's that it is the process of deliberation in his brain. Yes, absolutely.
Yep. All right.
So I'll build off that because radically, you were saying snarky and smart ass character with the punchlines.
Always.
I never get to play that. It's like whenever all my other gaming groups have always been, there's always somebody who grabs that role and runs with it, and I can't get lines in. And so it's actually odd right now, but I'm loving it, being able to make the snark, make absolutely. The punchlines, be kind of more the comedy relief character. And it's really, really different. We're all amusing our own way because we're just a whole bunch of misfits. But
absolutely.
And Danielle, that is one thing that I've loved about WD's personality is just the quick, and it is absolute snark. Yes, it's just that you don't put up with crap, and you'll let everybody know. And yeah. So what's your least favorite thing about WD?
Thus far, unfortunately, it's really that I haven't been able to showcase like 90% of my abilities. I've survival computers. That's all I've done.
By the way, for those of us who are laughing, thank you, Jessie, for proving a point from earlier. Jessie put in the chat for Danielle the wet fur.
The wet fur.
Well, yes.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
It smells like wet squatch in here.
That was some fun.
And for those of you who are playing at home, that's the crap I have to avoid seeing while I'm running this game.
Yeah, that and 10 times worse.
Yeah. Yes, there's a lot worse. Yes.
Well, so WD-42 really, really wished one of their abilities was fur drying.
So you really wish for that prestidigitation type. Oh, you're all clean now.
42 is going to start packing like a hairdryer in the van.
Oh, please. The plug in the van will not be powerful enough to dry this fur.
They'd be sitting there for at least 3 hours just trying to get like the arm.
Well, they are putting generators in vehicles now, so maybe if you get like 3 of them in series.
I mean, let's face it, the electrical equipment on the system on the van has to be up higher because of WD's computer equipment.
Any rig that
exactly.
Back there, yeah.
There's no more power left.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Plus, we can't
have the satellite feeds and the.
Plus, we can't put too much in there. Fred will just wreck it.
That's true.
Yeah.
He usually just wrecks the exterior, though.
Generally,
yeah. But if you do that to the exterior, the interior is going to get jostled too.
Yeah.
True.
And Vlad would not have a good time trying to help prepare that.
No. All right, who's next?
I guess I'll go next.
Right.
So I'm one of those that's also guilty of texting stuff in the channel and breaking the group. It's not just Jessie.
Oh no, it's not just it's all of you. Yes.
It's all of us. It is legitimately all of us. And the fact that it's like in one of the sessions, it's like, dude, when you have something like that to say it. It's like the problem I have is there's so much interaction going on that I don't want to interrupt.
That's fair.
Which is why we gravitate to the chat and not all the jokes carry through.
And for those of you playing along at home, for those in the audience, the last several sessions, got a whole lot better after the fourth or fifth time I basically went, all right, guys, knock it off.
I think it was after the house.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. After I got flung by the door.
Yeah, because there was an awful lot of chatter and kind of yes.
I've cut way back, but now Simon just gets some of that privately.
Get a lot of it.
Yeah, you've cut back onto the everyone, and you just narrowed in on Simon.
Well, and a lot of the time you will see, us go back and forth. You'll see Jessie smile, reach for a keyboard. Yeah. You'll see her lean back from the keyboard, and then you watch me, and I'll smile. Because a lot of the time we're just sending stupid little jokes back and forth.
Yeah. So
we can't help ourselves.
So Paul, what is your favorite part of Glitch?
The versatility.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like whatever the group or I need him to do, it can happen.
He's got an app for that.
Yes, he does.
It's not an app, it's floppy disk.
Yeah,
it's all one app. It's just reloading the database.
It's a whole bunch of
Yeah, that's legitimately yes.
Where'd you take those out of?
Yeah, they've been around.
Well, I know. I have a pile myself.
Yeah. So, Paul, what is your least favorite part of Glitch, especially?
Glitch.
Yeah.
Probably again the same negative as be the versatility. He's good at everything. Or sorry, he can do everything, but he's not really good at anything specific.
Okay. That's fair. That is sometimes a downfall of playing a utilitarian character.
The jack of all trades, master of none.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna go around on the screen in my view. Spenser, what's your favorite what's your favorite part of Vlad?
Oh, geez. You know, if I had to really pick one thing about Vlad that I like, it's the fact that I am not charging in as much as I normally do. Like, he's a character who likes to observe, as I mentioned earlier, but he's also somebody that is not afraid to get his hands dirty when need be. I mean, he's a 122-year-old vampire. He's worked construction most of that time frame. So he's got all these skills. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty, but he also steps back and takes a look at everything before deciding on what to do.
Well,
unless he's monstrous
for you.
Yes. Unless
when he's monstrous, that's a different story. And a lot of that shows in episode 19.
And we'll see more of that in the future in the next season. I know that.
Yeah. More of that will be coming too.
Yep. Since this is dropping after episode 19 drops. So yes. Spoiler alert. Watch the season.
Yeah.
Anyways,
we should put a card in front of this.
Yeah.
Spoilers ahead for
potential spoilers ahead.
Potential spoilers ahead for episodes 18 and 19, at least.
Well, for the season.
Yeah.
Don't watch this first.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
that would
true.
be a good call.
Because you would spoil good squatch, bad vamp. Yes.
I mean,
and you can't spoil that.
Really disappointing.
Yeah, you have to get the genuine reactions to episode 5, especially because that's like the turning point for us as players.
Agreed. Good squatch, good squatch, bad vamp is one of my favorite moments. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your least favorite part of Vamp, Vlad?
that he's too cautious around buildings specifically. Not just any buildings, but like older buildings. Like in the library, that's kind of an older building. It's more of a somewhat historic site now. He was very cautious walking around, making sure he didn't step on something, break something even further, so that way he doesn't have as much more restoration to do.
Okay.
And even as we wandered through the catacombs here, he's always pointing things out, being like, hey, be careful of this, be careful of that, try not to damage this thing, kind of deal.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Jessie, favorite part of Sapling?
I really enjoy the occasional quick-wittedness of Sapling. It's not all the time, and it's not even every episode, but I just get to be petty every once in a while, but it's not too bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't feel like I'm
And-
playing that too heavily. It's just kind of every once in a while.
And your least favorite?
I feel like Sapling's really ineffective at like almost everything she tries to do. She's really only good at paperwork. And that's something that's hard because she's 17. She has like very little life experience. She's trying to prove herself and she hasn't built that up yet. So her skills are not high. Her numbers are not
Well,
there
I
yet,
think
you
we'll
know?
see. I think we'll see a lot more of that in season 2, especially with what we've got planned for environments there.
I know
So-
part of that is actually the system as well. When you don't have those experiences of going to
Mhm.
college and everything else, you don't have the skill points to break
Right.
into everything else.
That
So,
is true. Yes.
Sapling didn't go to
Mhm.
school. She doesn't know.
yeah.
No, but she's better than a lot of people at navigating the paperwork and bureaucracy of the OTA. That is
Yeah.
for certain.
I think she's just wired that way because she picked it up really quickly.
It's the Fae.
Here
It's the
I
Fae
kind of
in her.
thought
That's true.
I
That's fair.
kind of thought you were going to say that your least favorite thing was the paperwork aspect.
Oh, I mean, she doesn't enjoy it, but she is good at it.
Yep.
We gotta have that one person that's good at paperwork.
That's
That
why
is
she's teaching
specifically
Neuro
why-
how to do paperwork.
That is specifically why she is the
Uh.
team lead, is because Ghost knows that she's the one who'll do the paperwork.
I straight up forgot that Sapling was the team lead for like a few episodes there, until Imp let out the smoke. I was like,
Yeah.
oh wait, I am oh no.
That was funny to watch you go through that process. Yes.
Yes.
It's
Um,
not that some of us won't do the paperwork. We just won't do it right.
She
Yeah,
can't
that's
trust her team members because some of you would do it wrong, so you wouldn't have to do it again.
I mean,
Oh,
there's
there
a
are
few times
multiple ways you can do it wrong.
Yeah.
there's a few times that Nero forgot his few signatures.
Yep.
Neuro is
And
still
doing
like
paperwork.
trying to prove himself enough that Sapling can get him to do stuff.
So, speaking of Neuro, Theran, what's your favorite part about Neuro?
The fact that he's the one that gets to stand out. He's not an other. He's the human of the group. And that he gets to be able to have a little bit more fun, but also wants to be responsible too,
Sure. Okay.
because he
What's
wants to show Ghost what he can do.
So, what's your least favorite part of Neuro?
The fact that currently he's pretty much a 2-trick pony. Mind wiping, and as you saw in episode 19,
Yes.
shooting skills.
I think most of us
When-
are true trick ponies right now.
Yeah. 1 or 2 trick. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a one-trick
Construction,
goat,
survival, combat.
Ooh, 3.
That's
I'm-
still not very much, though.
This will go back to like one of those earlier questions, but I'm used to like playing characters who has multiple tricks up their sleeves. But with Neuro,
Sure.
it's like, okay, look at my finger.
Yep.
Flash.
Good catch there. Good catch.
Now you don't remember a thing. Or, okay, I gotta take a turn to be able to cast a spell on myself so I can be able to do major damage to something.
Including your teammates on accident.
Occasionally.
including the occasional teammate. But hey,
Hashtag
And the
oops.
witnesses we need to interview.
to be fair, at least he didn't hit you with a bullet, because that would have been
True.
even worse.
I mean, either way, I still ended up dying.
Yeah,
Well,
it would have been.
You know, you're the only team member who gets to continue after dying. So,
That's true.
I mean, if you did it to any of us, we'd be
Yes.
rolling new characters.
Yep.
Whereas you get to continue
To be fair,
an afterlife.
knowing what those are and seeing them in action in Nightmare, I don't know that Vlad would have survived
yeah. No,
into the next process, because
in Nightmare,
they're
those
very
rounds.
specifically,
they blow holes.
I would have been dead, and then I
Yes.
would have had to make a new character.
yeah, I think you would have definitely been dead.
But don't forget, you kind of also did that to yourself with the blade knife, pulling out that shrapnel.
Okay, that was. I said this after the recording on that episode, so everybody in call here has heard it before. But I did that as a character judgment call right then and there.
Absolutely.
And at the
That
time,
worked.
I agreed with it and agree with you on that call. As Jessie was saying, I love the fact that you as a group don't always do the best, most optimal thing to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
You do your character as they would be, including making mistakes or not jumping into things or not
Yes.
doing something. Or as Michael, as Imp goes, jumping into everything.
Walking into a portal, finger on the trigger.
By the way, as we were talking here, just to, Michael's not here, and I'm pretty sure he would still answer the same way as we all have answered this question. Specifically for Michael, what is the favorite thing about Imp? His judgment or lack
Judgment.
thereof.
Judge it.
Yeah.
What is the least favorite thing about Imp? His
Judgment.
judgment or lack thereof.
Yeah.
And I as a GM love having first of all, I love having Michael around as all of you. But having Imp as a character in the campaign has been fun because I don't have to mess with you guys too much. I just let him do it. He gets you into far more stuff than I need to.
Of course, Sapling probably doesn't like Imp that much.
I mean, I feel like they're at least like she's friendly with everybody on the team because we're on the team and stuff. And like there's a level of like otherness that they kind of like get along to an extent. But like being like, oh, that's right, I'm the team leader and I'm responsible for what my team does.
And
That's a level she
somebody go
doesn't
grab
like
him.
I know Ghost doesn't have that
Yeah.
high of expectations.
I'm wondering when Imp will be cut off from Sapling's coffee supply.
You know, that's
Which
a thought
could
I
be a
hadn't had
really-
yet.
Which could be really bad because let's face it, as we've established as canon, Sapling has some of the best coffee
Oh, for sure.
available. And then I guess I have to now answer this question for all of you, huh?
Mhm.
I'm going to spin it slightly differently, as we kind of talked about. I think I'm going to answer the most enjoyable thing about each character and kind of the most, I don't know, not necessarily annoying isn't the right word, but kind of that, crap, that's them again, type thing, right? As a GM, and anybody who's GM will understand that entire feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Not again.
Oh, that's right. I
Yep.
have to deal with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I deal with
they're
that
doing that
every
again.
Tuesday.
Yep. Okay. So, just going around the circle, Danielle, my favorite part of WD-42 actually, frankly, is WD's personality and character and snark, and you make the great foil in the game. And just, even though, yes, you're often stuck kind of behind, you still manage to stay in the group. You still manage to stay in the game. That's a tough thing to pull off with the hacker profile. Most annoying thing?
Wet fur.
Yeah, I wouldn't change this anyway. The whining about the wet fur.
Also, it does limit creatively, I would imagine.
Yeah,
It
and
limits-
that's actually the
You
better,
can't hide
the
anything
better.
behind a firewall effectively because WD's going to get through it.
If I'm already rolling like a 70 before I start.
Frankly, that is probably one of the annoying things about most of you is that whatever your specialty is, you are varied enough, and we did this on purpose. I did this to myself, as we've mentioned before. All of you have a way to solve whatever problem is there. One of you has at least the way to solve the problem, which makes me actually step up my game further. So that is a good thing and an annoying thing. Yeah, there's been a few times when it's been, all right, let's do the computer thing. And then, Danielle, you'll roll.
In fact, I got 100.
They'll explode up. And the fact that you did not trigger the bomb that was going to wipe out the
EMP?
It wasn't a bomb, the EMP that was going to wipe out Fanboy's equipment. Just it's like,
not that I got a whole lot off that.
no, but it was kind of funny in what it was, and it made me kind of rethink a couple things for down the road as far as, oh, if that's going to be that way, I have to have a reason to make it higher than that if I really want to keep them out. Yeah.
That was just a perfect timing roll.
It was. And again, I wouldn't change that at all. That's the thing is with all of this, I wouldn't change a bit of it. Glitch. I love the fact, my favorite part of Glitch is just your willingness to do the thing that needs to be done, especially if it's physical. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. Reaching in and walking into the
invisible house
gash around the house that like you disappeared and stuff. It was like, all right, cool. And we move from there. The most annoying and the most troubling for me, and it causes me issues, is literally your breadth of skills. Because again, you can probably do whatever you will be able to help in whatever situation. Again, that's how we designed your character. Vlad, I love Vlad's history and what he brings to the table, as much so that if we have if the team needs to learn about, for instance, the catacombs or something in there, or figure out something to deal with architecture, it gives me another opportunity to have you do something. The toughest part for me with Vlad has been up to this point trying to figure out how to get you involved but not vamp you out and lose control.
Oh gosh. Well, bright side to that is unless I don't explode down, I'm more than likely not going to. Oh, let me rephrase that. I used to.
Used to being the operative word.
And we'll get into that in season 2.
And we'll see how that changes in season 2. Yeah, that's going to be the challenge for me in season 2 is figuring out what to do with, well, Vlad now.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Sapling, Jessie. My favorite thing about Sapling is legit the fact that the team has an inexperienced leader who's trying. And that's especially the later episodes. The later episodes, you're actively trying to lead. You're getting better. That's been fun for me to explore. My least favorite, the most challenging aspect, is going to be dealing with again in season 2 as we start to get into some of the more natural settings. You're a freaking half-dryad.
Real
feeling we're going to
is,
explore. We're going to figure out a lot of what dryads are capable of, and that's going to make it really challenging for me.
can you sing with all the voices of the mountains? And can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Because we're betting you can.
No, but she can make trees.
Nothing on this.
She can make trees chase vampires.
Not very effectively, but
That's the water from the well.
Well, we just haven't defined a lot of what dryads are and what they can do or anything. So
yeah, that's gonna be fun as we go. Theran, for Neuro, my favorite part about Neuro has been the innocence and the willingness to jump in and yes, we finally are on a mission. Yes, let's go. The biggest challenge has been for me so far, legitimately, has been trying to figure out how to keep you involved other than just being the token human. And because you really are a very limited in your high-end skills. Either you can make somebody forget or you can shoot really, really well. And I mean really, really well.
Of course. Now we did add that new ability of detect magic. So
yes, that and that actually will be fun. It will be challenging because that means I have to be very careful about what is magical around you as far as the challenge.
Yeah. And now Ghost has to keep me on because I know things about the OTA that not anybody should know.
Yeah, and if you start to spill them, you'd burn yourself out. That's a Gesh thing. That's a Gesh thing because if you went against your oath and your Gesh, Ghost wouldn't have to worry about that at all. Other than writing the Dear Jane letter to your wife, to your widow.
No, there was just a training accident. That's all that was.
Dear Mrs. Harold.
Dear Mrs. Neuro.
Dear Mrs. Hayes. I regret to inform you during a routine training mission.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Pretty much.
Wait. Neuro's the only one that has family that would get that kind of a letter, right?
In theory,
okay,
Ghost would send one to Sapling's father too, but pretty much everybody else, no.
Ghost would send an emissary to
the Grey Court, probably.
To the Grey Court, and probably to Mom in the woods.
I think so, yeah.
Sapling's dad wouldn't get a thing.
No.
I mean,
maybe the letter, but legit, frankly, it's going to be.
I don't know enough about
Court.
Sapling's character to tell you what Ghost would do, but I know that you know Ghost pretty well too. So
yeah, no, it would be. Dad may get a letter. Ghost would Ghost would probably go himself to the Grey Court, and send an emissary to Mom in the woods.
The Grey Court's going to be like, she was on the cleaning team. What do you mean? He's supposed to be cleaning.
Yeah.
You can pick on her. You can't.
My will is nothing but activate the kill switch.
yeah.
Yep.
No one will ever know what I looked at.
This is something that hasn't come up in story yet, technically. But I do also have a daughter that looks older than I do.
That's true. Yeah.
That is still living.
Yeah, you do.
Is that in your file?
Yes, that is.
Yes, it would have.
Well, then I guess Ghost knows that.
Yep.
Well,
but my daughter believes I
that.
died back in the 1900s, early 1900s.
It's kind of magic.
So, how old is your daughter at this point?
Oh no, I guess it would technically be my grandchildren because my daughter was born the year 1920.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Probably
So unless
grandchildren.
she's celebrating her centennial.
Yeah. So I do have
So
living descendants.
Grandkids and great-grandkids.
Grandkids, exactly.
Yeah. I had a son and a daughter, but my son was drafted into war and he was KIA.
Write down Vlad has grandkids.
Oh no!
Even his grandkids are probably, if they're alive, they're quite elderly. So it'd really be his great grandkids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just making a mental note for later that Vlad has family.
But you can, keep hurting.
Don't worry. So is Ghost.
I mean, I've sent you a copy of my backstory, Brian.
Yeah, I know, but
don't worry.
Yes.
Ghost is taking notes too.
Oh no.
Pen.
I know Simon
check
hasn't
my
actually seen my backstory, unless Brian, you've shown it to him.
No, he has
No, I
not
haven't.
shown me.
But in my backstory, it mentions that I had 2 kids. So
yeah, that's
I
true.
remembered you had a son who got killed in war. Not laughing at that, laughing at
So,
my term.
Simon, answer your to talk about Gruff. I think the most most troubling thing for me is legitimately Gruff's deliberateness.
Mm.
I'm so used to you playing not that character.
Yeah.
I do love the, as has become more common, the changes into the weregoat and the various nasty damages that you can cause with the hooves and the headbutt. That has been fun to explore. Very much so. I think we've had a lot of fun with this. We're kind of running up on where we wanted to take this as far as time-wise goes. Anybody else want to say anything else about the season that has been, or do you have something? Give me something, a short answer, something that you're looking forward to or would like to see in season 2 as the campaign progresses.
when Glitch was created, we gave the ability for other team members to create discs.
Yes.
It intrigues me and scares me to know after one mission what they're thinking I could do to help them out in other ways.
Martha Stewart disc.
Yeah. You'll be the team cook now.
All right.
Mobile Wi-Fi spot.
He's a hotspot.
Glitch gets upgrades.
Oh.
And because I'm not going to show you guys the rest of the notes I took, I actually did write Martha Stewart disc. We've got a new KP, ladies and gents.
And by the way, Danielle, I love the idea of making him a mobile hotspot. It's just kind of funny.
We're going out into the woods. Might need it.
I'm going to ping the tower. I'm going to ping the tower. Glitch. Ping. 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 Ping.
That way.
Am I pinging it with...
Hold on, everybody. I need to find where we're going. I'm going to turn on my glitch positioning system. That way. Let's go that way. Oh boy.
And for those of you who are playing at home, this is what I put up with off stream. Just saying.
Yes.
Anybody else? What do you? Thanks, Paul. I appreciate that a lot. Actually,
It's good to know.
What is anybody looking forward to something in season 2? Do you want to see something different in season 2? We all know I plan things way ahead of time.
Oh yeah.
So this is something I'm not really like looking forward to, kind of like scared to see happen.
Uh-huh.
Norbert, when I get back with the blades.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting discussion. That's going to be an interesting discussion.
That was the first thought that came to my mind when you said looking forward to season 2. I'm like, Norbert.
Yeah.
So, Norbert, when you come back with the blades. Ghost, when you come back at all.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
An undead vamp is going to walk through the doors of a vampire hunter.
Yep.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
I mean, I've worked under him for years now, technically speaking.
It's
The Gesh is going to be
the Gesh. Yep.
the Gesh is going to be the only thing that really is going to save you.
I'm just going to say, it won't be me with the banishment bullets you'll have to worry about.
Yes, sir. No, sir. That will not be nope, that will not be necessary, sir.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting. We'll have to figure out what happens there because even I don't know. I don't have a clue. But that's a good point. Anybody else? Anybody looking for anything interesting? Anything that you want to see?
I am excited. I assume that given all of our characters, we are going to go back to Sanctuary, kit up, and then go to our next destinations, wherever those may be. I am excited to see if we get any more equipment. I'm excited to see the stories that start to unravel a little bit further as we go on through all of that and get more equipment, get better equipment, maybe, a few more toys and tricks and things. And more than anything else,
I want to know what the broom does.
I want to know what my I want to know what my disc does. My flash drive.
I am
the room. I remember that when I was listening through the podcast.
Yeah,
not everything it can do, but still.
But that's just the icing. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
I am excited to as both a player and a character, and just in general, myself personally, a fan of mysteries. I am excited to see where the rest of this story goes, because I am. Everyone else is experiencing it as a game and a lark and fun. I've been maniacally scribbling in journals and trying to figure out what's going on where. So
that's true. Bryan hasn't made it up yet.
I mean, I know part of that is true, but
the real reality.
He's got a generalized idea, not the direct path.
I'm also 8 pages of notes. He doesn't have a 350-page novel.
I think you fail to recognize what 8 pages of notes means for him.
I don't have a clue.
I only have an idea because of what you guys have said in the past about him.
I've seen him
in
terrorize players with 0 pages of notes. This means he's planned terror for us.
I mean, yeah, I did pretty much. So, Incursion Nightmare, the first book in the series, that campaign, I didn't have any notes until 3 or 4 months into it, real time. And I ended up with maybe a half page of notes and a couple maps. And that was a map to the silo.
3 or 4, I would say 3 or 4 months in was pretty much right about the end. It was the going into the final arc of that.
Yeah. As
a person who played it, as a person who lived it.
Yeah, I didn't have any notes I just made it all up on the fly. Because that's kind of what I do. So yeah, I do have some interesting things planned, but I don't have the entire campaign planned out at all because you guys do way too much stuff off script. So
most of that is Imp's fault.
Yep.
It's always Imp's fault.
So
even when it's not, it is.
Yep.
So with that, I think we are going to call it a night. Thank you so much for joining us, joining me on this call and joining us for the season. And we're looking forward to season 2.
Thank you, the viewers, for watching.
Yes. Thank you very much for watching. It feels really weird to say that, even though we started with 0 viewers, but I think originally the first couple subscribers were like all of us.
Yeah. And look at where we are now, just after 1 season.
We're getting there, and it's going to be fun, and new stuff is coming. But other than that, thank you so much, folks. We are still, even in between seasons, we are releasing new content. We have some new fun stuff starting. We're still going to do a Thursday premiere every week, God willing. Anyways, they may be shorter, and we will be back very soon with season 2, with the start of season 2. So thank you so much, very much, guys. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
Hey, thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Before you go, do me a favor and like and comment down below. It really helps us out in the algorithms. Also, before you go, if you have not subscribed to us yet, smash that subscribe button over there. And I probably have another video waiting for you to hit and watch right there. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it again. You guys are awesome. This is the One Like a GM. Happy hunting.